there a better way to go? I've been feeling for your love so long. Maybe if you with me, better do right. And I've been gone too long. And I'm hoping that you sing my song. I've been hoping to get on. These roads of flames are catching a fire. Showed you I love you, you called me a liar. Give God the thanks and praises. I've been on my own, but we ain't never left alone. And if I'm telling you the feeling is wrong, relax a little, friend, this won't take too long. And when you're feeling alone, you can call my phone. Is there a better way to go? Teach them something before they lose the song. Oh, no. Freedom is the road. Oh, no. Coming in from the cold. Tell them not to sell it, it's worth more than gold. And guiltiness won't catch them in the end. Oh, yeah. They'll try to manipulate you through your pockets.
The sound of YG. I just love that song. Oh, stick and stay. This is Morning Connection, a gentle touch of care.
We believe in person-centered care. We take pride in improving the health and quality of life of all our residents. Join me, Jody Marie Bihari, Monday mornings at 8 a.m. right here on Fit FM for a gentle approach to a healthier you. That's 8 a.m. Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music.
It's now 2 minutes past 8 o'clock. Jody Marie Bahari, good morning to you.
Good morning, Julian Fit FM family.
Put yes up some more. That's why I put it up a little bit.
All right.
Up.
See, me and my shirt is
Oh my goodness. How are you this morning, my darling?
I am awesome to be alive. I'm grateful that I'm alive.
Yes.
I mean, recovering.
Yes.
From
Yes.
whatever bug I had.
Oh my goodness.
Yesterday I had to make an immune booster, so I did the turmeric with the ginger and carrots, and I had to take 2 shots of that yesterday because I can't bring this over into next week. I'm not used to being sick.
I'm sipping ginger and soursop leaf.
Oh, awesome.
The leaf and the ginger. No bags.
I tell you that soursop thing is a wonderful thing.
Yes.
The leaf, the bark.
Yes.
Is just wonderful.
Yes.
It has wonderful properties.
Mm-hmm.
And we have it just in Jamaica, just growing like that.
They're in our backyards. Just go. And that's a wonder. That's a beauty. That's a beauty of That's right.
We need to just pay attention to it. We spend too much time in the pharmacy and other places, and
we have it right
we
there.
have it right in
right
our
there.
backyards.
Right there.
Right in our backyards.
Right in the backyard. We just go haul off 2 leaf.
Mm-hmm. It's the same thing when I told you I had the fever last week. I just went in the backyard.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it wasn't me; it was my son. And pick the pawpaw leaf and blend it up with the ginger and the orange juice, and that was good for me.
Yes.
By the morning, I started to feel better. So there are just certain properties that we have. We just need to know how to use them and use them properly, so we can heal our bodies.
Yes.
Yeah, but we're not going to talk about that this morning because I come well prepared.
You come well prepared this morning
from last week's topic to this week's topic.
The elderly
and their
sexuality.
And all of
yes,
that. So,
yes.
Good morning, everyone.
And when you talk about elderly, what age you talking? Because I was listening to an 88-year-old chatting yesterday. She said, "Who you calling old?"
I would say the same thing.
And mommy too. Mommy is 92. July. Mommy said, "Who is it? Who is it? Me? No, sir. You check my age paper again."
I tell you, Julia, mindset is everything.
Yes.
And I think if we get to a place where we reset our minds and we understand, let me tell you, I tell somebody,
yes,
I intentionally, I'm saying 50 years is a lot, right? So why is it that I'm going to get halfway and then start complaining about all the things that never happened in the first half and refuse to live the second half? We have a question, Julia.
No. So for listeners, so we're talking about your backyard.
Yes.
You know, Prophetess Lydia, she's in England right now. So she's forget to pull off the soursop. Oh, she here?
England's weather is weird, but one of the things is that you can do inside garden.
Yes.
Kitchen side gardening. As I would say, you can use different methods growing the plants indoors that is helpful.
I'm sure.
So England and Canada,
yes,
the places that we have most of the Jamaicans that have that weather that goes for months.
Yes.
There are different things that you can use, and I'm sorry, in England,
she's yeah. But she's Jamaican, so she know for church.
If we can send it to you. Anything you want can be sent to you. You know, anything you want can be sent to you. But,
yes.
Longer.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
To still live longer.
Yes.
And healthier lives. And it creates going back in and balancing your hormones from a young age is very important. So many times, Julia, or dads matter.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So the elderly persons that you find that have these wonderful, great mindsets and high sex drive, we would consider, in their older age, has a lot to do with their balance, right? Their biological balance. There are many people who shut off from them in them 40s or 50s, Julia.
What do you mean shut off?
Shut off, like them say, oh, you know, nobody me can't bother with that and whatever. And it is because of it's because of a mindset.
Yes.
We are cultured in a way that we shame sexual behaviors and even intimacy. I mean, I long to holding hands, kissing on each other.
Yes.
And if people see it as taboo, and I'm like, you cannot be cultured. We cannot be cultured in such a way where intimacy is something that is taboo. It's
they see themselves at a particular age. They don't want to be touched. They don't want to be.
And it's kind of
like in public. Like in public, but
it's a complete lock off from
I'm not even saying I'm past 40, but me not done. It's like you see, you know what I mean?
It's a crazy mindset. And then you see the thing is when you express your point of view, people say, "Oh, you're too much this or you're too much that or whatever." Understand that the hormone balance has not just to do with endorphins. Endorphins make you want to do stuff you don't normally do. Sexual feeling. You have that love feeling.
A lot of people mix that up.
Yeah, you do things that makes you happy. You are healthier. You're more balanced within yourself. And so we have to get to a place where we are more okay with. So you're not thinking I want to do this. It's natural, right? So I'm saying to persons that who have their elderly relatives, let me tell you, they need to go out. they need to have healthy relationships with their friends.
Yes.
They need to not just to go to church for the sake of going to church. Let me believe you. Let me tell you, Julia, some of them go to church because they want to see brother so and so or sister so and so.
That's it.
Because brother so and so or sister so and so gives them that good feeling.
Yes.
So church
Yes.
is not just to praise God. It's going because I want to socialize. I want
Right.
to feel this way.
Yes.
And feeling good is not a bad feel. I feel
Feel
too
good.
good, something
It's
bad
sin.
happen.
It's sin.
just like
It's sin.
I was commandment he gave to all creatures on earth was to be fruitful and multiply. And how do you do that? It's by the act of a sexual relation.
Right.
It comes with the emotions, it comes with all the biological aspects
Yes.
of
Yes.
everything that comes with that.
Mhm.
Procreation is not just one organ meeting the next. It comes with a lot of things. I don't know if
Yes.
sometimes you watch the birds. I don't know if sometimes you watch, it's not birds and bees, but I'm just saying sometimes you watch some animals
Yes.
and how they foreplay.
Yes.
You see that birds dancing around, and it's
Yes,
usually the males
yes.
who trigger this. I
Yes.
don't know if people know that. But say for example, like the peacock.
Yes. Yes.
The prettier the peacock, the more attractive.
Right. The more attractive female.
is
Right.
to it, and then
Yes.
he puts on a nice show,
Mhm.
and then she responds. It's the same thing with the rooster.
Yes.
The rooster puts on a show. He puts on
Yes.
and
Okay. Because I have a lizard. I have a lizard. I have a lizard. I have a lizard there in the yard.
Yeah.
A croaker.
and
And
healthy
for him.
health comes. So even how you take care of yourself or how you dress has to
Yes.
do with a lot of how you think of yourself as a sexual human being.
Mhm. Mhm.
And we can't push off our elderlies and say, hey, they can't feel this way,
Right.
right?
Yes.
With normal that,
Mhm.
and not push them aside. So as adults, we are this person, and then by the time you start getting to a certain age, or you feel like there's not much of a social life anymore, you
Right.
depress this side of you, and so we find people who enter relationships from a young age,
Yes.
and they're this way, and then they change, and then they see their partner go out of the relationship or
Yes.
start entertaining other people.
Right.
It's simply because there's a breakdown in
Yes.
the understanding
Mhm.
of how you've evolved
Mhm.
and how much you want to still feel this way.
Yes.
Because the feeling is what pushes the idea that I would want this. I want to feel like how I used to feel. So you'll find men in their 60s and 70s, I want to feel this way again.
Right.
They work more, they want to
Mhm.
do more,
Mhm.
they, achieve more. And it's not just a sexual feeling. And this is where we've lost the
Right.
mindset.
Right.
If you feel good, you're gonna want to do more.
things.
You're gonna want to
Yes.
do things.
Yes.
You're gonna want to just step out of the comfort zone of just
Mhm.
sitting down in a chair all day, watching TV, listening to music, and that is life.
That's it. That's
You
it.
know,
And then complain.
and then complain, and then their
complain.
negativity goes
Right.
off on others.
Yes.
It-
Yes.
I mean, like you are going to change the growth process, Julia, right? So we're psychologists and we are
I tell you,
therapists.
world that you deal with a lot of elderly, so you see these things.
Oh yeah,
You see these things, and you know.
younger age. We are finding that we have younger age clients these days.
Mhm.
We have younger persons who are developing high blood pressure because
Yes.
of stress-related issues
Right.
or just unhealthy habits.
Lifestyle.
And
Mhm.
so we find that they lose functions or they become depressed because they're diagnosed early
Mhm.
and they think life is over.
Mhm.
And we're trying to say to you that there is room for recovery,
Yes.
and it's recovery of not just your body but of your mind and everything that goes with it. So it's not wrong to entertain sexual thoughts and sexual thought processes, right? Because it is not abnormal. Somebody say, oh, that man they can't do nothing again. I was like, yeah, but he need every time, like he needs something. Like I had a client like that I admitted sometimes last week, and he's in a wheelchair, and it's like, he's ready to was saying to me, "Oh, if the man want, he's a men are triggered by how women look. They're triggered by emotional entertain,
Yes.
and they're like so." You can't take that away from them because it now gradually kills them.
Mhm.
Because if they don't have that
Right.
feeling
To
then
stimulate them.
to
Yeah.
stimulate
Yeah.
them, they become depressed.
Yes.
Their illnesses get worse. So
Mhm.
your attention
Yes.
is not controlled because they have these thought processes that they're afraid to express. And even though things may not work the way they normally do,
Right.
they still have the thoughts.
Mhm.
And the
Mhm.
thoughts, if they're not entertained or if they are not nurtured, then that switches into depression.
Yes.
And depression makes the illness worse.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
And with the elderlies now, they have no inhibition when they get to a certain really excited.
Yes.
Sitting down and talk to the elderlies, Julia, who just have a bunch of life in them.
Yes.
You will hear them talk about their experiences, their
And they're telling you that
life.
although I am 80 and 90, I don't feel it. I
They
don't feel it.
because these persons understand the true meaning of life. They have
Yes.
no filters. They've experienced the good stuff, the bad stuff, the
Yeah, in
stuff,
between.
and
Yes.
the great stuff. And they're telling you, I'm gonna to the great to entertain them. Don't tell old woman you shouldn't be talking like this.
Yes.
You're a human being. And if this feeling makes you have life, and if this feeling makes you, I want to be 100 and walking around.
Oh yeah.
And enjoying life.
Oh yeah.
Right? I don't want to be 100 and sitting down in a chair and we're lying down in a bed
Right.
and
No.
can't move.
No.
So
no.
we have to foster these healthy thought processes
Yes.
from a young
That's
age.
right. It's a mind thing.
I'm
It's
Mr.
a mind
Harry.
thing. Hi,
From
Dan.
the gentle approach.
Okay. Jody Marie Behari. And something about the and there are times when because I know seeing the changes, how you deal with your patients, especially those with not fully, but you know what I mean.
All right. So there are a number of approaches that we use.
Yes.
Sensory stimulation is one.
Yes.
So listening, smelling, tasting.
Yes.
I usually find those work well to reorient them. You can't keep telling them that they need to remember. That's memory loss.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, I'm not an elderly, but I go through it.
Yes.
So I can tell you, don't
Yes.
tell me to remember, because it's the worst thing you can do.
Yes.
It's the same thing with the elderly with Alzheimer's.
Mm-hmm.
But when you find that there is sensory stimulation, so you play music
Yes.
that they're used to listening
Yes.
to. So it brings back memories
Yes.
of a time.
Yes.
And when you bring back memories of a time, it also brings back the other faculties
Right.
that needs to be in place.
Yes.
When you give them food that they like to taste,
Yes. Yes.
memories come back with the logical memories as well. So
Yeah, man. I can get personal there because when I play
yeah.
certain music, all of a sudden my mother,
like a light bulb.
it's like you said, my goodness, if Dudley was here. No, Dudley is
Yes.
dead now for 40 odd years, But you see, Dudley was around, man. Me know him love that
Yeah,
song,
but
and
ask
you
her
know.
who Dudley is on another
Oh,
day.
she remember. She
Right?
remember Dudley.
Well, some persons will forget.
Yes, she remember
But
her
then,
husband.
When the music comes on,
Yes.
they remember a time, they will remember
Yes.
people, they will
Yes.
remember events,
Right.
and so on. And it's the same thing with different, as I said, with the touch, with
Yes.
with the
Music.
music, with the food,
Mhm.
things like these
Yes, we-
bring back
Yes.
memories.
Yes.
If you have albums,
Yes.
old people have albums with pictures that were developed, then you can take those
Yes,
out
yes.
and they can go back.
Go back.
But we
Mhm.
have to be careful of the vivid memories.
Yes.
And the sad memories tend to suppress them more. So we have to be careful of those.
You know what I do? You know what I do with mommy too? I set her up. Sometimes I'm watching a movie.
Yeah.
It's in a foreign level. We're big enough, and then she'll follow. She'll read and follow the subtitle. And then I will ask her, so mommy, you understand? You have it. Okay. And then we do things like that. And then we laugh and chat. And then I'll discuss it with her. So mommy, these are some of the things that are, although it's in a movie, a lot of these things. And she'll say, yes, a lot of these things happening in real life.
Yeah.
Because you
the sensory stimulation
yes,
is
you have to
one
do
I
that.
have seen work
So we do encourage
over and over again.
persons to do that.
Expert, but I've seen it. There are certain methods that we use in our organization that I have seen,
Yes.
and so on. And every time I tell them to try it, and they see it, it's like, oh my God. And we were trying to say, all right, let us put up some things on the board and
Yes.
on the wall. It doesn't always work.
Okay.
Because sometimes their mind cannot even interpret the words or associate what the words are. So you sing the words and you're trying to play it in your head so that it makes sense.
Yes.
And then to them, they're seeing words, but it's not connecting, right? But certain music, certain times of the days. I remember we had a patient. If we turn Sunday morning, she comes out and asks us if we're going to church. Right?
Okay. Yes.
Right? Because that
Brings back the
These
church.
are the things they help to find days of the week,
Yes.
times of the days, and things like that. So those things that help them to remember those sensory stimulations, and I've seen it work. So I know that if you do it, then that would be something that can help.
Tell our listeners and our new listeners, who just, we have new listeners, and every day. Oh my goodness, new listeners. We want to thank the thousands of you who joined us last on the different social media sites. Thank you for tuning in the diaspora, in those areas, and you tell them, Jody, how you can assist them.
All right, so A Gentle Touch of Care is a nursing service organization, and what we do is we provide care for the elderly in their homes or at our facility, and we also train our nurses to care for patients. All right, so we are literally nursing based. So for the home care, we care for patients in their homes. We do an assessment. We look at their environment. We see what we can do, what we can recommend, what we can suggest. I tell persons, I know you have the ideal idea of what will help your relatives. What we or daddy might like this.
Yes.
And then when we do our assessment, it's like kind of different, right? So somebody will say, based on your own preference, we can get a little older nurse or something like that. And I was like, this is a male patient. I don't think he's going to necessarily want to see an older woman around him. But we have skilled nurses in all age groups that nurse, but because of how we grow up, and it's like, I understand.
Yes.
I understand, but this is my recommendation.
Yes.
We can try it, and if it doesn't work, then we can always switch. And for the home care, we do, nurses usually make sure those areas are clean. They prepare meals.
Yes.
For care 7 days a week. So our home care is very dynamic, and we try to work with patients' relatives to see how best we can adjust to meet all the needs that they have for their relatives.
Okay.
And then for our facility care, now we've been focusing a lot on rehab, as I said, persons who are suffering with mental illnesses,
Right.
and they have been diagnosed and on medication.
Yes.
And we take them into our care, and we try and facilitate them as best as possible. And it's the same thing for the elderly,
Yes.
as best as possible. We've been taking breaks from them because they are overwhelming sometimes.
When you
to
say
the
hard
staff.
cases, what do you
I
mean?
mean, cases where relative persons are in the hospital and the
Yes.
hospital says, "Hey guys, we can no longer do anything for them," and the relatives are unable
The end of
to
life.
the end of life care,
yeah. Mhm.
and they're unable or unequipped to take care of them at home.
Yes.
We do that for you, but
Oh.
it's hard and it
Yes.
takes a lot out of us.
Yes.
So we do that in a way where you get to say goodbye, you get to sit by their bedside and
Mhm.
have those moments with them where
Yes.
you get to say all the things you never get to say, you get to have your devotion,
Yes.
things
Yes.
like that, and
Yes.
I find are very it's very heartwarming because people tend to die alone, and that lonely feeling is not a good one. When you're
Mhm.
sick and you don't want to be alone,
Mhm.
when you're in a position where you can no longer do anything for
For yourself,
yourself, and
yeah.
you're seeing people and you're hearing things,
Mhm.
it gives you a feeling of I remember I hear a nice, calm gentleman cuss out at the end, and it was nice. And I think it's because he realized
Oh,
that
he was dying.
he was dying, and he was alone, and he was in pain.
Yes.
And that for me is heartbreaking because there's no peace.
Yes.
There's no peace, and when you are at a stage where you
That he was
I'm
just.
thinking it's so when you have regrets in life, and when you have a lot of things that you wish you had said and done and didn't get a chance to,
Yes.
I find that process, and we always talk about the good part. This is the bad part.
Uh huh.
When persons don't get to resolve, it's a little bit
Yes.
different.
Yes.
It's different, and
Yes.
sometimes it's spiritual, and sometimes it's hard.
Yes.
And we are there, so we see it, and we
Yes.
experience it.
Uh huh.
So while we have the good, it is a process that takes a lot of energy out of you, whether they're dying at home or
Yeah.
sometimes when persons are not resolved,
Yes.
because there's a lot of anger
Girl.
and stuff that goes on with that.
Yes. Yes.
But as I said, for us it takes a lot,
Yes.
and we do it anyway because
right.
there are persons who need that. But when we care for elderly, we put a lot of effort. It's too costly, but when you think of the benefit that it brings to you, to your relatives,
Mhm.
and so on, and believe me, what Jamaicans does costly is nothing compared to
Yes.
what you would have to pay otherwise.
Yes. Yes.
So it's
Because you're
just
getting
how you
professional
see-
care. You're getting professional care.
and I tell people, when you get my nurses, you get me,
Mm-hmm.
and that's, you can't put it's the years of experience.
Yes.
It's the years of understanding where you are at and helping you get through that. And it's like having sometimes I get messages at odd times
Yes.
of the day, and
Well,
it's
you
like,
you do it.
sometimes I read it and then I go, oh no, I need to process this.
Yes.
And so,
Yes.
and
Yes.
then
I know how
it's
that
like
can
that.
be.
Not
Mhm.
just with our patients, relatives. We're all human beings, and in order to become better caregivers,
Mhm.
we have to social issues,
Mhm.
emotional issues,
And you nurses have to take care of yourselves too.
financial issues. It's a bunch of stuff.
Yes. Yes.
So it's a dynamic. I tell you the truth, because I'm sometimes extremely exhausted.
Yeah. Uh huh.
Yeah.
So we have the fish fry coming up, the fundraiser coming up for May. That's
Next month,
right.
yeah.
Yes.
And we train practical nurses
Right.
for in a 9-month program in partnership with Heart.
Mm-hmm.
So that program now starts next month, and if you want to get information, you can just WhatsApp WhatsApp us on our numbers. You just Google A Gentle Touch of Care. It comes up. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. I think we've changed AGTC.
Right.
AGTC everything.
AGTC Training Institute. Yes, home care.
AGTC Adult Care Facility. We've kind of narrowed it down because it's a long name to
Yes.
call. So we're just a network of to meet the nursing care needs of the population.
So you said the next cohort starts in next month,
May.
May into January.
Yes.
And then you have another set that starts from.
No, they're getting.
Yes.
And then we have the May group that starts, and then September again.
And your nurses are all over. Doctors'
Yes,
offices,
they're all
over,
over.
and that's wonderful.
And doctor's office.
Mm-hmm.
And we can recommend and suggest, and we can also partner if they want to use our nursing service as their continuous supply for their nurses for their facilities.
Right.
I mean, once you are satisfied, then you want to go back to the source.
Yes.
So that's a good thing.
Oh, okay.
That's
That's
a good thing
wonderful.
for us. And we want to end on what we're doing. We want to be able to get our community service project back up. So we are inviting everyone to come out and support our fish fry, which is on the 31st of March, which is going to be at our place at 9 Market Street in Falmouth. Vibes. We're going to have entertainment.
Yes.
And so
Terry Linen will be coming.
Other persons.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. That's nice. That's nice.
Until we confirm those, we have 4 weeks ahead of us.
Right.
So we have 4 weeks to get this right.
So the business 31, no lunch. Make sure everybody
doing blood pressure checks and so on.
Okay.
And they'll also have flyers and
where are you going to be there?
Yes, and so probably send them over to our office because we're like a minute away from the square. So,
yes.
Our students should be out there. And they're going to be doing some sensitization.
That's wonderful.
Well. So
That's
we
great.
want to keep the entire community healthy and safe. And we want you to know your numbers. So if you're not sure what your blood pressure, your blood sugar is, if you're not sure what your BMI is, and so on, we're going to be doing all of those checks and so on. And we're going to be having health checks being done on the 31st as well. We're trying to get other organizations on board who wants to join us so that we can serve the community.
Yeah.
We want to be able to go back out there and help the elderly who can't afford to, since we started, and we want to keep doing it.
And this fund up a lot. So please contribute, get your ticket, and
tickets are cheap for fish fry.
yes.
And then people keep coming. So what if we don't eat fish? I said, don't worry, we're gonna have jerk chicken and so on there, with all sets aside sides and orders. Miss B is on board.
Oh, Miss B!
Miss B's kitchen is on board, so
Yes.
we're gonna be good when it comes to the food.
Okay. Woo! Thank you very much, my darling Jody. I look forward to seeing you every Monday morning.
Oh Lord, this is getting more exciting.
And we want to thank our Facebook listeners. Ray Johnson. My goodness. Good morning, Ray. It's been a while. Thank you very much for tuning in. Audrette, good morning. Good morning to you, Nurse Audrette. And of course, Prophetess Lydia. Hello, or English. So, thank you very much. And we do this every Monday morning at 8 o'clock. We talk about everything. It was great speaking about the elderly and their sexuality because we know, there are quite a few of them are quite pretty active.
Yeah, and they should remain active. It is a healthy part and a healthy process in life.
I mean, sexually active too.
Yeah, more of that in our
Especially the married couple. They do things.
course.
Yes.
They should.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
They're
not a question of it.
Yes, exactly. Got
They
it.
should.
Hey, Judy, listen.
At A Gentle Touch of Care Home Health Services, we believe in person-centered care. We take pride in improving the health and quality of life of all our residents. Join me,